everyone, and welcome back to another video. Tell me what you think about the new intro. I like to change things up every now and again, make things a little different. I have a couple more ideas. Maybe I'll put a new intro on the next few videos, then do a poll on my community page, see which one you guys like best. Yeah, that might work. But today, I want to tell you 3 things you shouldn't do in Cambodia. And while most of you are going to listen to this and go, well, those things are pretty obvious to me, and that's not anything I would do, I understand. But, you know, Cambodia, because of its location, its weather, you know, its low cost of living, it attracts a whole variety of people, a whole smorgasbord of humanity. And it just seems like some people try to make it as hard on themselves as possible for whatever psychological reasons that might be. And they don't seem to be all too happy here. And sometimes that shines through, that comes through, and they get themselves in trouble. And I don't want any of you to have to go through that. The first thing I'm going to say should be obvious, but stay away from the drug scene here. Just avoid it. It's never going to end up good for you. No matter how privileged you think you feel or you think you are. You get involved with stuff like that, and it's going to come back to bite you. I just read an article about an American who, along with his local partner in crime, were caught selling a large amount of, or in possession of a large amount of methamphetamines. And were sent to Phnom Penh for their processing and for their charges to be heard and all that. That is just a horrible, bad idea. They take that very, very seriously here. If you read anything like the Khmer Times or the Phnom Penh Post, you'll see almost every day the authorities arresting someone in some part of Cambodia for drug trafficking, possession of drugs. And here, it's a very serious offense. It's not as lenient as it is maybe back where you come from. You know, you get the plea bargain, you get, this is my first time, take it easy on me, man. Yeah, over here, none of that means anything. And because you're a foreigner, it's not going to make a difference. They're not going to show you any more leniency. Cambodia has been there and done that with foreigners for a very long time. And if you come over here and break the law, bad things are going to happen. And I hate to think, but it's probably going to happen, that this American is going to be spending many, many years in a Cambodian prison because he wanted to make an easy buck. So yeah, stay away from drugs and the drug trade here. I know marijuana should be legal. Listen, man, I've talked about this before on my channel. Everyone who knows me knows that I'm a pro marijuana guy. I don't think it's a drug. I think it's very helpful and useful for a lot of people. Much better for you than alcohol. But still, it's still illegal here. And like I said, you're not going to have that privilege like you might back home. So definitely stay away from there. Now, the second thing is arguing and getting angry over small things. I've seen a lot of expats go through this. And this isn't to say I'm any better than any of these people, by the way. I do lose my temper. I have lost my temper. I realize it was a mistake, though. But, you know, we're all human. We're all subject to our outbursts at times. Our emotions take over. But some people just seem to live by the motto that I'm going to fight and argue and complain and moan about every little slight, no matter if it was a mistake or not. I'm just going to fight for that and die on all those small little hills every chance I get. And there's this feeling some people have, I think, that everybody here is just trying to rip them off and take their money in. And that's just not true. But it's so embedded in some people that they project that outwards, and so every little transaction, they come up 500 real short, which, by the way, is about 12 cents. You know, they feel they're 500 real short, and instead of having a discussion about it and saying, I thought it was this much or whatever, they just go to yelling and screaming and being all animated, fists in the air, waving around like somebody just spit in their face or something. And a lot of times I think, oh no thank you. A lot of times I think that's just the way some people act, so distrusting to people here. They just don't trust anybody, and I think that's kind of a reflection on them. They know in a situation they might not be as trustworthy as they claim to be, and they might be take advantage of someone, so they project that outward to the people around here. If you look at the way people interact and treat other people, I think you're going to see a lot of that person in their interactions with others. But yeah, getting angry here is never a good idea. It's considered rude and impolite. And if you don't think there'll be any consequences, believe me, word gets around. Especially in places like this, at the market. If you think somebody's overcharging you for a kilo of pork, just go on to the next stall. You'll find what you're looking for at the price you want sooner or later. But to sit there and argue and yell at them, word will get around, and then you'll never get a good price again. Whether that's right or not for me to decide, but that is the way it is. And I see too many people arguing and fighting and bickering about most things that should just be let go. Not important. Let it go. If you found out you got paid, you got charged more than what you should have, just don't go back there. Very easy to remedy without all the fighting and all the nastiness. Because I've said it before, man, some people act like they're so miserable here in a place that I find almost like paradise for me personally in my life. And some people just feel like it's the butthole of Satan. They just act like they're miserable, and I don't understand it. Planes are flying out again, you know. If you're like that, just get on a plane, go to wherever makes you happy. Although I have the feeling some of these people, the way they act, they're not going to be happy anywhere, because the only time they're happy is when they're miserable and trying to make others be as miserable as they are along with them. And the third thing you shouldn't do here is you shouldn't negotiate. You should always negotiate prices, especially in places like this. At the Sa Kralan market here, you can see there aren't any price tags on any of these things. So if I wanted to buy that pair of sunglasses, I would have to ask. He would give me a price. I would try to negotiate down. But don't expect everything for just $1. There's this thing about Cambodia, and for years it was true. People called it the dollar store of the East, because you could negotiate anything down to like $1. You know, even if it was at a loss to the vendors, they would just do it because they wanted business. But foreigners have been here a while now. They know what their items are worth. They know how much they pay. So when you're negotiating, come to a fair price. You don't have to go down so cheap. And I've seen that happen too, where something goes from $9 to $6, but the person is offended that it's still only $6. Well, why don't you take $4? But the thing is, negotiations here are supposed to be done in fun, with a smile on your face, trying to get a little bit better price, and come to a price that makes you both happy. I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't be a dick about it. Remember, these people are just out here trying to make a living. And yeah, I know you don't want to get ripped off. Nobody wants to get ripped off, but sometimes, especially when you first get here and you're not familiar with the cost of things in general, happened to me, happened to almost everybody I know that's come here at first. You know, you're going to pay a little bit more. But then you'll get smart, you'll learn some lessons, and you'll be fine. People will understand when they see you coming. Yeah, this is the guy, he knows what's up, he knows the score. So they give you the best price they can while they can still make a profit. But I see people start out negotiations. The other day we were at Sasamaki. Somebody was trying to buy something, some piece of general merchandise, maybe a hat or a shirt. And the guy told him $8. He immediately said, no, $1, $1. And I kind of chuckled. I didn't hear the rest of that conversation, but I'm sure it didn't go well. I'm like, well, that's not really a negotiating point. That's the vendor saying, you know what, yeah, you can go away kind of point. So that's just a word of caution. I mean, just for me, like I said, as always, you know, you can take my advice or leave it. Do the opposite. Maybe it'll work out for you. Who knows? But those are my 3 things that I would say you should not do when you come to Cambodia. It'll make your stay here a lot less stressful, a lot more fun, and make you really feel like you're part of the community here. I have several vendors that we go to in all these markets, and you know, pretty soon you'll get your own. You get a chicken person, you'll get a pork person, you'll get a bread person, you'll get a tuk-tuk guy that you really like. You know where to go to buy your clothes. You know, place is going to give you the best deal and not be as strict. I mean, you'll get to know all that. But in the beginning, take it easy. Try not to get too upset if you think you've been overcharged, because really the only way somebody can scam you is if you are willing to be scammed. So be polite, don't get angry, use your head, and you should be okay. There she is. Anyway, be sure to check out all my links down below. If you like my channel and you want to help support it, I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to get a couple $100, and it would be great if we could do that. I have a PayPal down below. You can buy me a coffee at ko-fi.com. And there's also my Patreon. And if you do any of those things for me, I'll send you weekly exclusive videos, copies of my books, stories, and more throughout the week, just for you. Matter of fact, if you are a supporter, you should have gotten my last exclusive video yesterday. And then there I'll tell you about some changes I'm going to make to my channel here, why I'm making those changes, and you'll be the first ones to know. Everybody else on my public channel here will just find out when those changes happen. So check down below for those. My other channel link is down below. If you like horror books and want to hear me review and talk about horror books, that channel's down there. Also links to other channels vlogging from this part of the world, my social media. All that good stuff is right down below in the description. Be sure to check it out. Alright. From Sakralan, I will talk to you guys from the bling bling section, even though we're not buying any bling bling. But I'll talk to you guys in the next one.